thinks this quote is from him, because I don't see any women in this panel, or can say from whom it is. 1 EV for every 2 contracts. Is there someone that makes a guess?
Well, I think it could have been from me, but it could also be from Bart, I think.
It could absolutely have been from me as well, but I'm not sure, Tim.
Okay.
I could even imagine.
Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Rolando D'Arco. Mr. D'Arco.
Something that we are, this is probably a common statement.
You can hold the microphone a little bit closer.
Yeah.
Are you on track? Do you have 1 EV for every 2 contracts already today?
This remain our target for 26.
It's a target.
Sorry?
It's a target. It's not the case.
It's a target. It's not the case. We are in a transition moment, and but I'm quite positive. The industry will move. The leasers will be not alone. We will have all the OEMs pushing in the same direction, and I'm sure also the customers. So the target is ambitious, but still achievable.
Okay.
Yeah, but Tim, thank you. And Tim, you said, yeah, it could have been my quote. Why could it have been your quote? What's your thought on this?
No, I think we have discussed a lot, how to mitigate, let's say, the transformation to electric. Clearly, the visibility on residual values on EVs the next 5 to 10 years will be difficult to predict. And one of the best ways to mitigate that, let's say less visibility, is to keep the car for 6, 7, 8 years in our fleet and find customers for the different segments. So.
We go to the next quote, Stephen.
The next quote.
Yes.
We can be valuable partners for OEMs in terms of electrification, digitalization, lead generation, and protecting RVs. Who has said this?
I'm almost certain I must have said that.
No.
Maybe internally, but it could.
This is the man.
I could have
Even
said
better.
it, but, and protecting residual values, that was a little bit strange to me, but up to lead generation, that's very true. We are the tool where you can test drive, where you can create a paid test drive that people get into the cars, get enthusiastic, love the technology, and we can make it happen as the entire industry, not just the rental industry, that we bring the people into the cars and buy the cars.
On the other side, you are also the ones within the short-term rental industry that have already defleeted quite some electric vehicles. So that part of the quote is perhaps not.
That doesn't mean that we do not buy any new electric cars, by the way. Just because we had a drop in residual values and we came off the risk in the first quarter this year, we reversed the trend in the second quarter, and it's obvious that in 2025 the electric share will be there and grow, and there is a market for sure in long-term rental if it's not there in short-term rental.
We now are going to start with our next block, that is the digital block. Our goal remains unchanged, to be the most sustainable mobility player supported by optimized processes and a world-class digital platform. Who said that?
I think we all did, no? It's a great quote, so.
Applies to all of us.
Yeah, okay. It is a quote from Tim Albertsen of Ayvens. Where are you in terms of your world-class digital platform?
Well, that's a good question, because we're working hard on it. As you know, we are merging between ALD and LeasePlan, and LeasePlan have done extreme, let's say, inroads into the digitalization. Parts of the program, we have to say, did not really work as we expected, but a big part of it did, and is live today. So we have now a new plan for building this global digital platform, which I would say today is probably 70% there.
And when will it be 100% there?
You will be ready by the end of 25, early 26.
Okay.
A Dutch supplier once said, when you go for you agree on 100 with the IT provider, you get 50 and you pay for 150. Is he kind of right, you think, or?
Well, it's IT, and digital. It's pretty much correct. I think first of all, always delayed, more expensive than we anticipated. I think in this case, we are actually combining a lot of assets on the lease plan side and the ALD side. That means we have a good foundation, and now we have found the right recipe to execute it.
Yeah.
Let's look at the next quote. We are on the verge of becoming a tech company. Who has said that?
Who could have said it?
I think it was the Leasys, actually. I think it was the Leasys who said that.
It was Alain van Groenendaal.
That's why I was smiling, because
Arval. Okay.
I didn't say it, but I of course fully support what my CEO must have said at some point in time.
Okay. Explain.
So that's exactly the point. We are part of a bank, so already with our feet deep into the water on AI, as an example. We've been in telematics for ages, so you don't need millions of data, but if you have them, you can do something with it. And most importantly, you do things with digital tools that you could never have dreamt of 10 years ago, specifically also to service our customers and their drivers better. So yeah, we are, I think as an industry, not just Arval, as an industry, getting very, very close to being a tech company. But we are, before anything, risk managers, fleet managers, and hopefully also some good advisors on dilemmas in strategies of our customers that we can help them with.
Okay. Rolando, everybody talks these days about artificial intelligence. But of course, you see it here, fleet is a people's business. Don't we expect too much of technology and AI?
I think that we have a lot of opportunities, but we are having internally with my colleagues an important debate. It is come before technology, then the customer experience and quality. So at the field, if we define first the technology, then the customer experience, I don't think that the algorithm can work. We are working exactly on the contrary. First, quality, and I think that the answer cannot be only artificial intelligence, but the artificial intelligence in our industry could help people to improve their way to serve the customers.
All right. I think it's time already, Stephen, to go to our next quote, which is, I think, an interesting one.
In terms of managing the second life cycle of EVs and batteries, why not expanding beyond Europe? Who said that to us? It is also, all the quotes were also mentioned to us in Fleet Europe interviews. Okay?
No?
We are going to look. Giacomo Carelli.
It was you, please.
That was a difficult one.
Please tell us, what did you mean by this?
I think, listen, today what we see in the industry is that there is a lot of uncertainty on what we're going to do with the car at the end of the process. So if we are able today to talk to our Chinese partners and say, hey, look, there is an end of a life cycle. We're talking about 8-10 years afterward. Is there a technology you can either import here to Europe, or you can bring from China, or we can use in China to ship the vehicle or the battery, if you want, back and make a different use? Why not? Because today the issue for all of us is what we're going to do at the end of the life cycle of the vehicle. So we have talked a lot about second life for a vehicle, re-renting, releasing, but at a certain point in time the battery will be over. And so we need to either import or develop or buy from abroad technologies to make sure that there is a value at the end of a contract.
Rolando, yeah.
Absolutely, I'm fully in agreement. So we are all looking at opportunities coming from the release, the reuse, but we need to support the customer in the affordability and the usage of the vehicle. So I think that also another point that could be relevant for us could be the retrofitting of the technology. That is another point that could open new scenarios for us, also for us.
Okay. The final quote.
If you paid attention, you should know.
An important trend is flexibilisation.
I could have said that.
Yeah, but we already had your quote, so that's the quote of Markus Deusing. Is flexibilisation, is that one of the remedies, for example, to cover risk?
I think it is. I said it, I think, 1 or 2 years ago on this panel here as well, where I think that rent will be the future. Maybe rent is the next leasing. It is a higher level of flexibility that we see that the customers want. There's also a higher level of volatility within your fleets and within your companies. So therefore, a higher flexibilization in our offer is only a typical effect of this. So therefore, I think that I would have said it again today.
So they are going to copy your business model.
Looks like, yeah, because we are the only ones making it happen that we can use a car on certain modes, right? Because of a branch network, and happy to offer the branch network to you if you want to, and make the same flexible model.
Okay, Giacomo?
I would say that I agree with my two colleagues. You were the first one, we were the second, because Drivalia is actually absolutely doing this. I mean, the leasing, the subscription, the rent, and it's all the same fleet. And we also have the rent-a-car. So absolutely, if we see a trend growing, is the one of diversifying of our product and moving more and more into the rental, and vice versa if you're coming from the rental towards the leasing. Multiple usage, multiple mobility solutions, that's what corporate customer wants, and private individuals as well.
Is there someone here who does not agree, or does have
they always agree?
Complete opposite. No, I think flexibilization is the way to go at this moment, right?
Maybe one input. It's not that I disagree with my dear colleagues. You see that immediately.
Or see it differently. That's more.
What I think that people are more and more understanding is that flexibility has a price, and that has to be paid.
By the customer.
And that means if you're offering, we talk a lot about subscriptions in recent years. If you offer the possibility to switch every weekend to a sort of different car, the only place to do that, by the way, is at Vinzenz network, to do that properly. If you say that you want to keep it as long as you want and give it back at any point in time, that has to be managed. Yeah. And companies like ourselves, we are quite good at that, I think. We're growing our expertise globally. So in that respect, short-term rental, mid-term rental, long-term rental is kind of blending together, but you need the scale, and it has a cost, flexibility.
Okay. Yep. Tim, final comment?
I think, Ayvens will never compete with Sixt, on a daily rental business, for sure, so don't worry about that. I think for us, it's really a way to, again, mitigate the residual value risk, having pools of cars where we can put them, actually bring them for a good product to our clients. So I think the focus of Ayvens will remain the longer-term business. And then, of course, there is segments and areas where we work with the subscription and maybe 2, 3, 4 months, but never daily rental. It's a completely different business and not our business at the end of the day.